Nikki. I tried my best. Michael's fallen off. Hopefully, his internet will sort out. Mr. Brian Bing, glad you're here, sir. Glad you're here. Thank you so much. Just going to say, if you're happy and you know, you know it, say amen. Amen, Zion. Amen. Amen. There you go. Yeah, I'm always happy. I guess you might know from today's conversation, you might get a handle on why N is the way he is. Yeah, I'll try and paint a picture for you. Cyrus, Mr. Podcaster in Chief, Mr. Audio guy, and Mr. Video guy. If you heard my starting music, you know that we have Cyrus to thank for creating that genius. Now, Cyrus creates other videos as well for people's marketing, amongst other things. Yeah, does create songs and brand songs as well. So which really helps. Michael, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. How about you?
I'm all right. You were here. Eventually, you're talking. I was concerned.
Yeah, well, I've been talking all this time.
Oh, good man.
Oh, song for you.
All that good stuff that you were saying, right?
Yeah, no, I have a song for you. Let me sing my song.
I'm not sure, Mike. Oh, Michael. Okay,
Come
go
on.
for it. I'm excited. Don't forget, this is gonna last forever. It's gonna be there. This is gonna be on the internet forever, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me
go for it, Mike.
Let me go somewhere where I can actually get some environment in order to sing this song for you. And okay. If you're happy with your life, clap your hands, pop, pop. If you're happy with your life, clap your hands, pop, pop. If you're happy with your life and you are not so sad, you're happy with your life, clap your hands, pop, pop. Hey, there's my song right there. Let's enjoy this meeting.
We'll take it, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you're happy with that, yes, we should always be happy. I think we should always be happy. But I'll come to that in good time. Michael, thank you, bringing life to the party.
Maybe I should have said, if you're happy with your business, clap your hands.
I don't know. I think you might have a problem there. Many people are not happy with their business all their life.
Well, that would have been perfect right there.
I think it fits into our conversation today. I think because hopefully
maybe at the end the audience can join me in if you're happy with your business, clap your hands.
Yeah, well, no, you're all welcome, Jay. I see you. Welcome, Jay, our storyteller strategist. Thank you so much for joining us, Liana as well. Oh, Coach, you mentioned Liana. Okay, I saw Liana earlier, so. See, Coach, you can make many friends. You need to make many friends. Meet them, find out what they do, see if you can help them, see if they can help you. That's what we need, right? Sarah said, "I'm happy. Thank you for your song." Right, my friends. Let me start a conversation. Then I'll bring Michael and Coach in.
So Cyrus, you can have that song for you. You can have that song.
Only if you sing it for him, I guess. Look.
Oh yeah, I'll be glad to. I'm told that I have a nice voice, but I'm a terrible singer. I tell you that right now, Cyrus. I'm worse than any.
Yeah, no one's ever going to hear me sing. I've made the pact with the devil. Well, Lisa, we're never going to sing in public ever. We love you too much. We don't want to lose all our friends overnight, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
go ahead, Annie. It's up to you. Sorry for the interruption.
Station, Michael. Otherwise, our friends would think, why are they just waffling? Now, let's start the conversation. Then let's really get into it, right? So, look, part of me thinks today's conversation is just a simple one. I guess you never know where it's going to go, right? So, but it's pretty straightforward. We're talking about that thing that moves us. Now, when you feel stuck, when you feel like you'd rather lay in bed than do that thing that you want to do. Whether it's your to-do list or whether it's something else. But essentially, you should be doing something else, but you are literally preferring not to do that thing, not to take action. Right? Now, I was in a room yesterday when Coach talked about inertia in one of my rooms yesterday, my what if room. Inertia, which is, I guess, something that's, it's equivalent to the immovable object and the unstoppable force. In other words, nothing happens, right? You're stuck. It takes energy for us to move, to take action. Some days that energy just seems to elude us, right? It seems to be we just haven't got it. Yeah, I can't say I feel that way on any day. I'm lucky. It's not I'm lucky. There's a reason why every day I'm driven to do what I do, and I'm driven to do something. Sometimes I am just plain disorganized and lazy. I'll be honest with you, right? I know I should be doing. I know I should be doing what's the name? Doing this book, for example, right now. I'm doing an event, right? Almost like two conflicting things I have to do, but I have to make time to do this book tonight. I'm saying, sometimes we just haven't got the energy or, no, or the inclination to do what we know we must. That force that I mentioned just now, the force, that drive, that thing that makes us move and take action, is called motivation. That's the word about motivation. It comes from, I guess, having the belief and the energy to move, to bring our goals into reality. So with motivation, like I say, we believe in ourselves, we find energy, we set goals, we work towards them, we work through any obstacles. Whether that obstacle is external, that's for example, it's not a hard project I have to learn stuff on, or whether it's internal, things like self-doubt, which can cripple us, right? Essentially, motivation is a force that we all need. But here's the thing: motivation is not some fleeting, mysterious force. Now, when I said to you just now, Mike, many people are not happy with the business. But now, what I'm saying really is a lot of people are not motivated by the right things, maybe, to make their business work. Now, I can hear you thinking, right? Ellie's meant to be talking about emotional intelligence. That's a series we're on. And this topic is number 3. So last time we talked about self-awareness in the first week, because you have to know how you feel and be able to understand and recognize your feelings before you can begin to manage them, which is what we talked about then 2 weeks ago, self-regulation. See, number 3 on the list is motivation. And number 4, which we're talking about in 2 weeks' time, is empathy. And the 5th component of emotional intelligence, emotional regulation, emotional balance, emotional well-being is social skills. So let's dive into number 3, motivation. Now you're entitled to ask the question: what's motivation got to do with emotions? What's motivation got to do with anything? I should tell you, should I? See.
Please do. Please do.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. I certainly will. Right. Look, it's a simple one, right? Every day we get up. Every day people are in our space. Things happen. How do you react? How do you not react? How do you respond? Now, see, without motivation, we have no objective. We have no goal, right? So let's play it through. Annie is a calm person. When anything happens, Annie just goes, I'll deal with that. Maybe Annie responds nicely to people who upset him, right? What is the point? What's the point of me being self-aware and managing my emotions What's the point of me in interacting with people? Like I said, our future subjects are about empathy, which involves other people, and social skills, which also involves other people. Why would I do any of that? That motivation. There's no point manage my emotion only to play dead. So the reason motivation is so important in our emotions is that motivation is the bridge between how we feel and what we actually want in life. And it must be there to drive our actions, our responses. I guess maybe the simplest way I can explain why motivation is so important in our emotions is that every day we must keep our eyes on the prize, my friends. Keep your eyes on the prize. Every day, every moment, every waking moment. Maybe when you sleep, you keep your eye on the prize. What I mean is simply this. My goal, which is the prize, equally your goal, should be what determines how you respond to situations. Achieving your goal is your main mission in life. I'll come to our goals, and I'll come to where motivation comes from in good time, right? But essentially, every day Annie wakes up, Annie thinks, my goal is to publish 10,000 books. My goal is to generate X amount of money from my events. That means helping X number of clients do events, right? And knowing the goal and knowing that I'm driven to achieve it determines how I behave every day. Online, offline, in real life, with friends, with family, with my clients, with potential customers. And again, look, every day we'll have our annoyances. Yesterday, I had to tell someone, look, go away. Leave me the hell alone. Stop DMing me asking dumb questions. Now, that was my choice to respond like that. It's taken me weeks to not to get annoyed and frustrated with him. The reason I responded in that way is because this person, he is totally meaningless in my existence. He has nothing to do with my goal. He can't help me in any way. He's not a customer. He's not a friend. He's not a speaker at my events. He's not even someone I know. So stop bugging me. Go away. Now, there are some people who are part of my journey, or they could be. Now, do I say to them, go away, you're annoying me? Never, 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 never. What they get from me is a smile and better responses, because my prize may well involve them. My eyes are on the prize, right? Getting my 10,000 books may well involve any of you who's here today. That's why I invited you. The work I do, the goals I want to achieve is first and foremost my mind. And my motivation to achieve them is what determines how I respond to people every day. There's someone here who, this morning I woke up, I'm like, damn, what's this message? But I didn't bark, I didn't cry, I didn't scream. I just merely said, here's my thinking on the topic. Here's where I think you've gone wrong. Here's my thoughts. Maybe you want to think again. And so ensue the conversation. I'm saying, right, whether you're motivated or not by your goal determines how you respond. Hopefully you understand me. Mr. Americo, thanks for joining us. I do join your events. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me to see you all here. Right, okay. So we know why motivation is important. Look, when someone's motivated, they have this drive to achieve, right? They have this desire to do whatever they want, whatever they need to do to achieve their goal. When you're motivated, you tend to keep score. You tend to keep a record, a track of your progress towards your goal, right? If you're highly motivated, then you tend to remain optimistic, even when things are going awry, when other people are literally jarring you, annoying you. When you combine our self-regulation with our achievement and motivation, we can essentially overcome anything: frustration, depression, setbacks, failure. It is that motivation is key to how we use emotional intelligence. Last I'll say is simply that we use emotional intelligence to choose the best way to respond to the situation before us. With that emotional intelligence, we tend to react and have an argument, literally flip out, right? Throw our toys out the pram. That's what we say in England, and act like a baby, in other words, right? And sulk and cry and whinge. Whereas with emotional intelligence, we respond in a way that helps us to work towards that prize that we're working towards, our goals, the things that we want to do, the things that we want to achieve. So that way, we constantly respond to people in the best way that helps us achieve our goals. Now, today, I'm going to talk about how do we build motivation, because it's not a random thing. Like I said, it's not a random phenomenon. Everyone here has motivation. It comes from somewhere, right? Where does it come from? Let's talk about it. How do we build on it? How do we really cultivate it to help us to achieve our goals? Whether that's excel in your career, or run a business, or even improve our relationships. Now, motivation is a fuel that we need for our actions. Okay. Coach, let me ask you, where does your motivation come from?
Thank you so much for that question. That was very strong. Now, that question, there's something about words are not meanings. The word where does my motivation come from? Those words. If you're referring to my personal value system, then it comes from the value of wanting to help others, wanting to make life around me better than I met it. If the question where does it come from would mean external things, then maybe the idea that I may get some financial reward from something also allows me to attach value, and then I move. At the end of the day, we're also changing beings, but I think the strongest one is your value system. What you value at the end of the day is what motivates you. That thing that internally gives you a sense of fulfillment, a sense of achievement, or a sense of, it may not be those words, but motivation is tied to value system. There's a particular Bible verse that makes sense to me in this regard. It says, do not cast your pearl before swine. Not because pearl is too good for the swine to have, but the swine has no appreciation for that level of finesse, that level of life. The swine has something else that it loves or it treasures. The only way the swine lives with such things is that the swine or the pig will drop it in mud, and that's not the place of that object. At the same time, things like Michael, obstacles of that. Michael, good to see you. Sorry, I'm sorry I didn't say hi. And everyone on the call, hi. I'm sorry I dived into the question headlong and straight on. So there must be compatibility between the value system of you and the object of your motivation. If you've not found that compatibility, now there are many techniques of finding that compatibility between that external object and you. If you don't have that compatibility, then we're in trouble. You will struggle through it. But there must be compatibility between that intrinsic internal disposition. It can be your belief system, it can be your value system, it can be what you're attracted to. I mean, in Lagos in those days, I see Michael changing that. That's good, Michael. In Lagos in those days, you have people going long distances under the rain because they got to see a friend or they got to go see something. So I think the stronger key is what is your internal disposition or your internal state of mind. Because I have studied the human mind, or what you call the human soul, and especially the seat of our emotions, imaginations, motivation, the unseen part, the subconscious mind, in quote. And at that level, what are the things that drive you? That is what you find energy to do. If you must now do something else that is not within that catchment and still be motivated, you would need to engineer it. You now need to go to self-awareness and then self-regulation, which is where we are now. But you can't regulate what you're not aware about. Just like you can't manage what you don't have visibility of. So that's where you need to get a coach. You need to get someone to help you re-engineer your motivation. But there's something that's very dear to you. You have to find motivation to do it. For you to find motivation to do it, you then have to re-engineer if it's not really your career. Some people argue that it's both ways, and I agree. Some would say, well, if the thing is big enough, it will motivate you. That is true, but big enough is personal interpretation. That phrase big enough is personal interpretation. What is big to you is small to another person. So some people argue it's not internal, it's purely external. It's both ways. If you can travel from where I am right now to central London, you can also travel from London back here. It's the principle of piping. If water flows forward, it can flow backwards. However, at the end of the day, since we're discussing the origin to be motivation, your inner reins must want to do that thing. How do you get yourself to that point? You need to engineer or re-engineer if it's not something that occurs to your natural value system. But the root of motivation is value system, is what you appreciate. It's the mental association you have with something from the inside. If you don't have that mental association, we need to go connect that wire. We need to go and connect that wire inside you, and then we can hope to get a shift in body language. So that's it.
That's deep, my friend. That's deep. That's deep. Very comprehensive. Very comprehensive. Now, hopefully, you listened to what Coach was saying. So I'll come back to that in a second. Michael, what's your take? What drives you, my friend? What drives you?
What drives me is life, Annie.
Tell us more. Is it within? Is it external? Is it a mixture of both?
It's internal.
Okay.
It's internal, and also, yeah, it is certainly internal because it's a struggle. I get up in the morning. I'm in pain. I have to overcome that. I have to do a lot of use internal mechanisms in order to get over that. And I have to love it. And I have to enjoy the fact that I'm doing it in order to move forward. I have to take certain actions, in other words, or certain tasks into consideration and know ahead of time I need to do this in order to resolve this to resolve this problem. I need to do that in order to get over this. I need to do this so that my breath is not smelly. And I also have to put in what do you call it? Well. Sometimes I gotta put in oregano. Hate oregano, but it's what it does the job. Does the job that So I have to like that one too, you know? Yeah.
I like that. And I said, I
Powerful
do.
and it stings. And but
Yeah.
that's exactly what I have to go through. And then when it comes to getting to work, I have to get into the car, call the Uber, wait for it to show up. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes it takes 20 minutes. So I have to languish around waiting. And tell you what, I'm an impatient person, naturally impatient. I'm always wanting to be quick, quick, quick on the move. My dad is always like, "Come on, get moving quickly, quickly." When I was younger, that's the kind of attitude he had. He got us into that kind of
Yeah.
time matters, speed matters. Think of things, get things done quickly, huh? And if I remember any, there was a time that you said, in order to make a sale, you have to make sure that you do it quickly. Time
Me?
matters. If you,
Me?
yeah, oh, yes, it was in your room. I
Yeah.
remember.
Well, you know,
But not, maybe not you. It was probably somebody else that was talking
yeah,
and
it
giving
wasn't me.
advice.
I don't believe that. I long at the process of selling because I want to make sure the person is my customer. I want to make sure that
Yeah.
they're really that there's a fit. So I will literally meet you today. I'll talk to you. We agree. I'm going to work with you. Coach will vouch for me, and I will take days to send you the agreement, and then we'll talk even more to make sure that we're singing from the same hymn sheet.
Oh no, it wasn't you. It was Cyrus.
Yeah,
It was
maybe. I'm sure it wasn't me at all, right?
it was Cyrus.
Because
It was
I do
Cyrus. I
think
remember Cyrus was the one who said that.
look.
I remember
Thank
he
you
was
so
telling he was delving into that. So just to let you know, that is it's you enabling yourself to like what you do every day, because you're going to be doing it every day, and you're going to be used to say it. Ask me, how is it that how do you find the that come from? I said, I don't know. It's internal, you know. I have to make myself happy to do it. So I guess we go back to not only emotional intelligence but mindset. Change your mind to
yeah,
enjoy what you do, because you'll be doing it for a long time.
I agree.
Understanding that will make you get a clue, getting a realization that your goal, yes, it is there, but it is very far away. In order to get there, you have to walk through fire,
Mm.
or
I'm with,
you know, all sorts of
I'm with
things are going to
you. Yeah,
happen. But
we get distracted.
that's essentially how I look at it.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah.
No, in terms of what you and Coach say, it's not
So
much different.
I have to have motivation. I have to have motivation to get out to do all those things, and to make those things work. So my motivation is, hey, that's my goal. I have to get out there and I have to like it. The mechanism, the most important part to maintaining your motivation is in the is in is in the grind. Is in the grind. You have to grind. What is it that they keep on saying? The grit. You have to have the
Yeah,
grit. Maintain that, and you move forward. And that's another businessman who actually said that, from Uganda. I can't quite remember his name, but he's one of the famous ones there, and he was always pushing that. Grit is what you need, and the grit stands for something. I can't remember what it is, but once I find it, I'll put it down in the notes.
yeah. By all means, please do. Now, the grit is it's everything. It's a wherewithal to do what
Yeah,
you have to do. Overcome the challenges, think straight, be focused.
yeah,
Everything
and
is
also be astute to your environment. You really need to know about it and understand it, and be able to tackle new challenges, because
yeah.
new challenges will come. And
Well,
just like
they
you,
have to come. The new challenges have to come because otherwise we die. Now, you know that saying, if you're not growing, you're dying.
yeah,
Literally, that's why I want to keep moving forward. Like I say, look, thank you so much, Michael. The difference between you and Coach is simply that you emphasize more about what can be described as pure intrinsic motivation, internal motivation. Yeah,
I like that.
Some people have
Thank
that.
you.
Some people they have that. They will do. No, many people will do things because they want to do it. That's what they like doing stuff. That's what drives them, right? And there's and they have no intention of a reward. They have no. They want to do it because they want to do it, right? But that's a very small percentage of people. Coach knows this as well. April, welcome. Glad to have you here, April. Thank you so much for joining.
The reward system is irrelevant.
Yeah, for some, but for most of us, it's not irrelevant. For some,
it's just like
yeah. Let me show you a quick video. I think Coach, between you and Coach, you've hit the nail on the head. But let me show you a quick video, and that will give you an idea of where I'm coming from today.
Yay! We get to see a video. Awesome.
Share screen. Okay, share screen. Yeah, I don't have too many.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to let you know that I love coming in here to wrestle with Annie mentally.
Don't you worry, mate. I'm ready. Here goes. Watch this for a minute, a couple of minutes.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a theory in psychology. It argues that there are 5 stages of human needs that motivate our behavior. Abraham Maslow proposed his theory in 1943 after studying what he called exemplary people, such as Albert Einstein or Eleanor Roosevelt. First, there are physiological needs, such as the need to breathe, eat, drink, or sleep. The moment we get enough of that and we feel awake and our bellies are full, we get motivated by the next thing. Now we want safety. We try to earn money, build up resources, and look for shelter that protects us against dangers. Once we are satisfied and feel safe, we have time to think about what we want next. At stage 3, we seek love and belonging. We desire to be close to family and friends, belong to a society, or join a gang. But the moment we feel completely part of a group, we already wish to be a little different than the rest. At stage 4, we look for esteem, self-confidence, and respect from our peers. We want to be someone. If we have money, we buy a fancy watch. If we have a brain, we write or think or work a lot. Motivation to perform and compete is now at its highest. Students, sportsmen, and inventors excel. Neil Armstrong even flew to the moon. Only if we breathe and drink and eat and sleep enough, and we feel safe and part of a group and still special, only then can we reach level 5, self-actualization. Now we can relax, be creative, accept facts for what they are, give back or do whatever we want. No more pressure, unless of course there is trouble below. If you are a leader and believe in the theory, use it. First, make sure everyone has eaten well. Then make them feel safe and help them belong to a group. Once they feel they belong, they are ready to stand out and excel. Thanks for watching. Even if we try to keep it short, each video is quite some work. First, we
know. I have no doubt each video takes time to make. That's why I make them myself, my friend. That's why I let you make them. And I just get to show them. Right. So you can see how I'm saying Michael and Coach are saying you're along the right lines for sure. And so the point of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a catch-all theory of motivation. There's many more. When you grow up the way Annie does, you end up reading books like this about motivation. That's a book, right? Motivation is the thing that we study most in psychology in our degree and the masters. When you do HR, you're going to learn more about motivation. The funny thing is that all my years of learning motivation inside out, it still comes down to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And the simple premise of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is that we have to find within us what's really driving us, Michael. So Stanley, welcome. I can't not welcome you. Thank you so much for joining us. So, this man works very hard, to make his power thinking a thing that we will do. So I'm sure you understand my topic today, my friend. Glad you're here. Stanley's Zoom, maybe it's a phone call. I think it's a phone call event. It's a call conference tonight. So tonight for me, it's 2 a.m. But if you want to join them, please do come along. Do come along for sure, right? Right, my friends, right. I think, we need to be very clear which step on motivation we're on. Now, in the Western world, most of us are not in there struggling to live, struggling to find food, struggling to find shelter, place. Most of us move beyond that, which, is a good thing. See, but once, as a theory says, once we move beyond basic needs, then we have social esteem needs further up. And then, even when we've achieved everything, we'll still, we have this need to be greater than life itself. Look at Elon Musk. The man goes to work every day still because he wants to be great. He wants to be greater. He wants to be the greatest. Yeah, and as I was watching the video, I tell you what came across my mind. Is that funny realization that the higher people go, the more successful they are, the nicer they are. If you ever meet anyone and you think, oh, that person's really nice. They're nice to people, they're nice to other people, they're nice, they do the right thing, they do nice things, they treat people properly. They tend to be people who've gone very high in life. Again, I'm bringing it back to emotional intelligence. You are happier when you achieve your high motivation goals, is the point. So let's aim for those higher order things in our lives. Yeah, look, I accept Michael's point. You can't just be happy doing what you want to do. But, when we have a clear goal, then that goal frames our thinking, our behavior almost forevermore. So now when I have an argument about small, now do you create small goals or big goals? Now if you're okay, I agree with you. It comes down to intrinsic motivation. Well, some people are driven by external motivation. They're driven by rewards. They're driven by the things outside of themselves, things they can get if they do. I'm not going to say that's wrong because as Coach said, many of us are driven by money. For the sake of it's not money. That's the thing for us. It's the fact that we need to be appreciated. We need to be able to provide for our family. We need to be able to, to buy the things we want to buy, pay our bills. All of that. All of that counts. It's only when we can do those things that they will then go towards internal motivation, where we're really driven by our goals for greatness. Again, if you've been to my rooms, I talk about this now. This aiming for almost immortality, aiming for legacy, because we can, right? And there's we can't just stand still and die and rot away and die. That's not the point of life, right? What more can we do for others? What more can we do for the world? What more can we do for ourselves? That's what drives people. And I say again, those who can find the internal motivation, those who can find the right goal, they are the ones who are motivated. They're the ones who develop, emotional intelligence, emotional balance. I said to you, literally, the more successful people are, the nicer they are. It doesn't mean all millionaires are nice, I'm saying, but literally, yeah, the more successful you are, the less likely you're going to be easily offended, easily tripped, unless, of course, you're Donald Trump. There's no excuse for a man like that. I leave that alone. But no, look, finding motivation from within is what you really want to do, right? Because now you doing things because they make you feel fulfilled. They make you feel rewarded. Doing things you enjoy, doing things that get you to where you want to get to, my friends, gives you a sense of peace, a sense of accomplishment. Not because someone's going to pay you for it, because and that's how you.
The aspect of external motivation does not lead you to. I can presume does not lead you to peace and happiness. It's only internal motivation that does that, and genuine peace and happiness, not fake peace and happiness. Genuine.
Yeah, I agree. Look, external motivation, money, things, whatever that thing, parking space at work, an office with your name on the door. Those things are great for a while. They're great until you get them. That's the weird thing, right? In my business, there's people come to me. Oh, I want to work with you, anyhow. Okay, fine. We'll start working together. And and as my employee or as a contractor, call it what you like, right? And then a job comes in, Michael, and the job is done. And then I say to said person, here is your money that we agreed. So on day one, they were excited. They were motivated, Michael. They were driven. I've done this so many times. I don't sack my staff on month one usually. I sack them on month 2, month 3. Because the money they suddenly realize the money is not as great as they seem to imagine on day one. And once the people realize that the external motivator is no longer there, they literally mentally pack up their bags. Mentally, and literally they will do very little. That's when I tend to fire them on. So I'm talking to one of my contractors yesterday. And
the switch and bait. Oh.
It's not. Well, look, this is what everyone does it. Unless you truly love what you're doing, unless you can find a purpose in what you're doing. External motivators don't work. They will burn out eventually. Worst case, you start resenting your employer, for example. You start resenting the person who's paying you because you don't think the money is enough. But that's what we agreed as the terms, right? And that's
absolutely, right. Absolutely. And unfortunately, we have to learn the hard way that we can't live like that. We have to find our internal motivation and build our happiness as a result of that.
See, the question then becomes, how do we find that internal motivation, Michael?
Like I said, you got to understand the reality of your goal.
In what way?
In a sense that when someone reached that goal that you wanted to reach, and you go and talk to them, and you ask them, how did you get there? What happened? They will tell you a story that will really make your face go white. Because you didn't know that it required that much work. You didn't know it required that much sacrifice. You didn't know it required that much pain. So you need to know what it's going to take. And then ask yourself, can you get there? Knowing what you know.
All right.
And then mitigating all the issues that come across, because now you know how to get there. now you have to figure out how you're going to mitigate it to make it good for you. It's not good for everybody, whatever your solutions are, but it's good for you, and you're satisfied with what the solutions that you come up with. And you get up every morning because, yes, you've accomplished one step along the way, and there's so many thousands of steps to go. But in each one of them, you've loved the path. You've loved the process. You've loved getting there. There's a guy who talked about that. He said, you got to love the process. You got to make failure your partner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
and you gotta love it.
Coach, what say you? You've been quiet for too long, Coach.
Well, I'm enjoying the conversation. Thanks, Michael, for that. Thanks, Annie. At the end of the day, both motivations exist, and like you said, Annie, the extrinsic motivation doesn't go forever. Extrinsic motivation always dies off, but intrinsic motivation will take you for longer. The other parts of the conversation is that any which ways, whatever we supply to ourselves externally is external. We will eventually gravitate towards our internal value system, the unseen part of our minds, our imaginations. Eventually, they will drive us. Eventually, those parts will drive us. Um, the only other thing I'd like to add to the conversation, Annie, I can't see your face though. Okay. Yeah, I can't hear your voice anymore. The other part of the conversation that I also like to add is that many times people aren't even self-aware about what their internal workings are. So there are many people who think that they are motivated by money, and when they earn the real kind of money that they are looking for, but with some bitterness, maybe the job conditions are not too good, then they find out that, oh, so that wasn't my value system. And like you said, they will now discover at motivation that they missed a step on self-awareness. So before you begin to climb higher, I think a values clarification exercise or a subconscious clarification exercise is also good. In addition to the fact that, like Abraham Maslow said, the moment people make sufficient money, they bother about the next level. The moment they make that level, they bother, because what we don't have is what we not start looking for. But whichever way, whatever we acquire on the way, our intrinsic original desires that we get as self-awareness at that beginning point is very important. And what does emotion have to do with it? Whatever you are motivated towards is a supply of emotions. But like I said earlier, it's a game of attachment of meanings. We are the ones that attack the meanings. So it means that you can find motivation, which is once you understand the attachment circuit, you understand, oh, anytime I need to get something done, I attach a money reward system. And really, again, a money reward system is a misplaced value system. Of course, a lot of people attach to the dollar note or the pound sterling note, but actually, what they want is what the money can buy. What it represents is the comfort. So that level of self-introspection and awareness is the key to the re-engineering. How do you ensure that when you don't have sufficient energy to do something, you find the energy? It's about finding what matters most to you and driving yourself in that direction. And in this world, there'll be things you're motivated about naturally, and the things that you're trying to do that you're not motivated about. Those who will be most successful will be able to engineer those moments when they are not motivated and get the energy to succeed despite how they feel on the inside. There'll be days you're not feeling too excited, and the days you're feeling very excited. It's important to find motivation on the days you're not feeling excited about something, and that's why you need to understand your own motivation. So that's the point. I'm listening, I'm soaking it in. I'm here. There's anything I'm looking interesting chats. Everyone on the call, I love you guys loads. I will put in my comments in there. Thanks so much for having me again.
Thank you. Please do connect with Coach. I see Stanley wants to connect with you, so do connect with him. We'll tend to go in the comments afterwards and connect with people in there. Alexis, I've missed you. Where have you been? Glad you're here. Alexis, is one of my genius editors, and writing coaches. So I'm glad you're here. I really have missed you. I haven't seen you for weeks and months now, maybe months. But I'm glad you're here. Hopefully you will begin to come on stage and share with us as well. Especially in the Book to Business, Alexis. That's on Friday, right? Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Everyone here, you've made my day. Look, Coach, I agree with you. Look, intrinsic motivation, if you can find that thing within you, whatever your personal values are, whatever your personal goals are, I'm saying it starts there. Everything else is almost secondary. As Coach says, if you're at work, it's not your goals. You're achieving someone else's goals. You're achieving the goals that your boss gives you. I'm saying you have to have your own personal goals, your ambitions, the thing that's going to give you a sense of purpose. We talk a lot about why. What's your why? Why do you do anything? You have to tap into that why, and you have to make sure that why is so important to you. It's so huge that, as Michael said, it's going to take you a lifetime to achieve it anyway, and also you're going to expect to have challenges along the way. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs is almost it's a perfect balance between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. It starts off with extrinsic motivation. So things that we want that we can have in return for what we do. That's physiological safety, money, all those sort of things. Even esteem can be from other people, right? But it's when we get to the higher levels, when we get to the self-actualization, that we really begin to get driven to do what we have to do. That's just how motivation works, right? Now, so look, without motivation, like I said earlier, nothing matters. Our emotional regulation doesn't matter. Self-awareness doesn't matter. Having empathy for others doesn't matter at all. It's only when we are able to use our emotional control, emotional balance, to take the right actions, to respond in a way that helps us, that we become truly productive. We must have that motivation to bridge the gap between our thoughts and our actions. Yes, motivation helps us to maintain a positive mindset. Of course it does. But when you're motivated, even the toughest obstacles suddenly look doable. Nothing is impossible when you have a positive mindset. Nothing is not possible. There's nothing you can't do, right? That's the truth. I'm saying that's the beauty of motivation. But with motivation, we see things in a lot different way. Without motivation, we tend to be susceptible to frustration, annoyance, disappointment, whether that's in ourselves or in others, that we have to respond to, right? And that's the point of motivation. Cyrus, welcome, my friend. How are you doing? And you're still muted, Cyrus. Mr. Bonavinote, talk to us. Cyrus, you're not talking. Damn. Okay. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Please, what do you want to ask?
Good to see you guys. I've been enjoying the show as per usual, and just wanted to contribute a little bit as well. I really enjoyed what the other guys shared a few moments ago. I just wanted to say, in what I do, I never lose my motivation. I used to be working based upon motivation until I realized you only lose your motivation when you're trying to achieve somebody else's goal, because you need to be incentivized. Okay, so you go to work and they incentivize you. Why? Because you're working for somebody else. They need to incentivize you. Otherwise, you wouldn't go above and beyond, right? But the moment you realize, as soon as you realize you're working for yourself and you're doing it for you, that moment you stop wanting to be incentivized. You will become the incentive. Your actual goals become the incentive. And here's a really good test to find out if you or someone else will achieve their goal within the desired time frame or not. And here's how you can tell. It doesn't matter if you lose your motivation. What really matters is how long does it take you to get back to the base level from the moment you go below that level and you feel demotivated. How long does it take you to recover? That's my formula for finding out if a brand owner or if a publisher or if a podcaster is doing what they're doing for for doing what they're doing based upon motivation or not. That's the worst kind of basis to be on, being motivated to achieve your goals. As soon as you realize you don't need to be motivated because what you do is you're doing it for you, the sooner you learn that, the sooner you come to that realization, the sooner you will get to your goals. Otherwise, your life will be a series of motivation, demotivation, and remotivation, and again another series of demotivation. That's the kind of fluctuation you don't need in your path. You want a straight line, as we all know, straight line is a shortest shortcut to achieve a goal and achieve an objective. I am open to suggestions. I am human. At the end of the day, I don't make mistakes. What I'm saying here is what I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and I stand corrected if I am wrong. Good talking to you guys.
Thank you, Bonavoy. I hope I got that correctly. Bonavoy, thank you so much. That's very, 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 very spot on from many directions. At the end of the day, when you have your own inner reign and your own ideas you're working on, it gives you the kicking off. Although there comes a time, even if it's your idea, there comes a time, and you actually said that you calibrated the level. There is a level that suggests to me that you're very self-aware. That means that you've put your motivation on the scale of 1 to 10, and you're someone that always marks it. I can hear that in the conversation. But there also comes a time in life when there are things you have to do that you have to do, but you're looking for the energy for it. So you either have to have your own meta program. Is it for me? Is it good for me? Does it serve me? So that's again self-awareness. So your own meta program is powerful. But there are people who have not even discovered their meta programming. There are people who are not even at that level of self-awareness, and will shock you. They're the larger society and larger amount of persons that we have. So how do you ensure that you stay motivated? I think I'm picking from you an answer, which is find your meta model, find your own why, and the model. Beyond the why, there is a model inside the why. Find that why and revert and convert it into a program, convert it into thoughts, feelings, emotions, imaginations, mental pictures, perspectives, and paradigms. Find the words, write the programs, run the program in your mind morning and evening, and you'll be fine. When you see your reservoir is down, redo the program. Some people will do confessions, some will go watch a certain movie, some will save movie clips based on your type of neural wiring. Find your own particular programming from your own why. And when you do that, boom, you achieve motivation. So thanks for that. I found that very useful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach, as well. Now, Cyrus, brilliant, says Alexis. I agree with you, Alexis. It is. Look, I'm always fascinated when my friends agree, but it's like you're stealing the words out of my mouth before I get to say it. But that's fine. That's fine. I say that. Thank you. Look, I think the point Cyrus and Coach are making is that motivation is based on working out what truly matters to you at a deep level. What is it that Coach, when you say people don't know, so that people are not self-aware, I think it comes down to the fact that people don't set big enough goals. They don't know what their goals are.
Yep.
People, we need to be able to work out what truly is that thing inside us. What's our emotional needs? What are we really needing? What are we working towards?
Yep.
Now, the reason go on, please carry on.
Sorry about that. You're very correct. Now, there are many goal setting classes, and there's not enough goals being made.
I agree.
There is a and one of the reasons is because of goal congruence. People set goals at the surface. That is not. There are about five parts of your being that must align with your goal. There is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind must support the goal. The subconscious mind must want the goal, must not self-sabotage.
The second part, so part of that is believing that you can and you will.
Thank you. There's a belief system. That's the second one. Thank you. That's so there's the goal. There's a subconscious mind, whether I want it. There is your belief system. There is your environment on the outside that you have defined as important. That's number 4, alignment factor. The 5th alignment factor is your general well-being and the laws of the society. If those things are not in congruence, you will have a goals disjoint, and at some point it's going to become a New Year resolution that never leaves beyond March. So that goal setting error plays out to the point you're making, and that's very brilliant that you could even post it and identify that one. It's a big problem. Many people have goals setting, but the goals are not set. Set means that you have arranged and aligned them. Goal setting is a set. It's a set, a group of items that you must turn to the goalify moment. And the other thing I've not added is what will be the mark that you have achieved it, and whether that mark is sufficient to make you happy enough. If any of these things we described are in this array, you don't have a goal. You have a desire, you have a want, you have a whim, you have something exciting you, but not a goal that's worthy.
You have a wish, right? A wish is no good.
Thank you. You wish.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and you can get your wish. Yeah, that's it. And you can get your wish, and then you are sad. Like the joke, never lean against the ladder of success, finding out that you're leaning against, that it was against the wrong wall. Before you start climbing, make sure that the ladder you want to climb is against the right wall. So the key here is that we have to put. Thank you, Alexis. Good to see you. I was going to type in the chat, say hello, Alexis. Thank you, everyone. Shola, Prickcroft, everyone, Jeremy, Charito, and Chris. Brilliant point again. So, anyhow, I'll yield the mic to you now. But the bigger point I was making is that a lot of us who would need, and I'm sorry I'm saying this, who would need some personal introspective exercise, starting from self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-identification, self-esteem, and self-engineering. We need to go back to that point and be clear about who we are and what's in alignment. Then building on top of that is the point we're now making, which is what do we really want and how do we ensure that what we want is what we want. You don't want to get something and then a few months down the line, you are sad that you have it. There are people who've gotten very rich and they are now very sad or very ill. They will rather go back to when there was no money because it was the wrong goal for them, the way they went about it. Anyway, thank you, everyone.
No, thank you. And thank you. I'm sure I'll come back to you again, my friend. Charito, welcome to Charito all the way in Philippines. And I know it's odd times, but I'm glad you were here. Hope you've had a good sleep. So Jeremy, my sales guy in the US. I'm glad you're here, Jeremy. How you doing? And our HR genius, Olushola in Nigeria. Welcome, Olushola. Great to see you, man. Great to see you indeed. Now, Coach, look, I think, you're... Oh, I muted myself. Don't ask me why I did that, right? I think we struggle to really understand what motivates us. We're not to really understand what matters to us. Now, but we must work it out. That's the thing I'll say, right? Motivation doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes out of having this clear goal. And all the things Coach said, I think, no, it matters. It has to be clear goals. It has to be measurable. I'm not saying it has to be measurable like, I want 100 pounds, so I can count to 100 pounds, right? No, I think we have to be willing. Coach mentioned just now, the self-esteem is part of the conversation. Now, see, when I sat down to write my goals, now I wonder if anyone on stage is willing to share their real goal, their big goal, their ultimate self-actualization aim, right? So when I sat down to write my goals, bearing in mind we're talking in a year and a half ago, 2 years ago when I started doing these rooms, right? I spent 3 days writing my goals. I wrote a list. My coach looked at it and she's like, "Why do you want that?" I'm like, I don't really. I did what everyone else does, I'm sure. I want £1 million in my bank account. She goes, "Why do I want £1 million in your account?" Because I think that's a lot of money. She goes, "Is it a lot of money?" I'm like, "No, not really." Because I know that £1 million is an amount of money, but maintaining the structures that come to having £1 million is a lot of money too. This is why people go broke when they win the lottery and they buy loads of stuff before they know it, they're broke. Literally, it costs money to have money. And to have assets cost money. To keep the assets going, to buy expensive cars, a Ferrari, for example, that costs money. I'm sure that was on my list somewhere as well. But the point is, it took me 3 revisions at least to have a list of 3 things I really wanted. That's where I set my goal to publish 10,000 books. 10,000 before I die. Yeah. That's a lot of books. I mean, again, anyone who knows me, you see what Eni does, Eni will do anything to publish a book, anything to publish another book to add to that number. And I know there will come a time when I'll have a team that publishes more books than I do. So that's a big goal. Now, we're going to have this argument that people will tell us, "Oh, set small goals. That way you can take small steps." No. Having a big, hairy, overarching goal that seems impossible for you to achieve. Because that's what's going to drive you to keep learning, to keep doing, to keep getting better, to keep your emotional inner balance in check. If you go for small goals and you achieve them every day of the week, and what's the point of that, right? Well, if you go for huge goals, that can guide you for a lifetime. The question is, how do you arrive at that goal? I said, talk to a coach. Talk to someone like Coach, really. Because it is a process that we have to, get through. I mean, you mentioned New Year's resolution, Coach. I want to get fit this year. That's not a goal, is it? That's too vague. What does that mean? A real goal is saying something like, I want to lose X amount of pounds or stones from my weight. I'm going to exercise for 30 minutes, at least 3 times a week. to improve my energy levels and my overall health. Specific goals help you to stay focused. Big goals.
Okay, with the goal setting too. I can give you mine when you have the time, Annie.
Yeah, please. No, please. I'm always willing to learn from you, my friend. Talk to us. That's quite a scary picture, though. Go on, Michael. Michael, we've lost you. Oh no.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. My goals are aligned with my motto. And my motto is I want to offer the best to the very best from the very best. In other words, I want total happiness. I want you to gain total happiness before I do, or even when I do, but it's pretty much what I'm trying to say, is that I want you to get total happiness, happiness in what you do, and find happiness in things that you're trying to accomplish. If you come to me and knock on my door, the first question I'll ask you is, how can I help you? That is ultimately what I want to do, to help you get to where you need to go, or to help you with the thing that will make you happy. Not with the thing that will not make you happy, but with the thing that will make you happy internally and grateful. That's my motivation in life. And my motivation in this life stems from my mother, who, when she died, she was helping her mother get better from sickness. So I want to follow her in her footsteps. That's my motivation, right? Or my goals.
Yeah, no, interesting. And look, I used to run, before I turned to marketing. I started on the internet 20 years ago, in 2000, 25 years ago now. I get older every day, right? Strange that. You know? And eventually, after 3 years, I went to go and work in a charity as a manager. Then I got to the top of the charity. I remember when I went to the charity, the kids' charity, what I said to myself was, Annie, if you make a difference to one kid's life, you have succeeded. Right? That sounds like what you're saying, Michael. You know, if you make a difference to one kid, then your goal's achieved. Here's my problem, Michael, with that goal. I achieved it within a few weeks of being there. Right? And then I realized, maybe I should have said how many kids I want to help. Maybe I should have said how I want to help them. You have to be very specific, Michael, is what I'm saying to you. Very specific. Measurable means there's a number. There's parameters.
I understand that.
Of what I want to achieve, right? You know, otherwise.
And my parameter is infinite.
No, I'm saying no, but
there's no number.
Yours is infinite. Yours could also be achieved by one.
Yes, indeed. But you don't find one person in this world.
Yeah, but once you've helped
this universe,
what makes you want to help the other? I'm saying, give yourself a number.
It's my motto. It's my motto.
I'm saying, be brave enough to give yourself a number.
As long as you exist, you'll need help from me.
Give yourself a number. I
cannot give you a number.
Right.
I can tell you this. Okay, I'll give you a number. The entire universe. There.
Okay. I'll play a game with you, Michael. Coach, I wonder what you say about Michael's goal. I'm truly intrigued. Cyrus, if you got thoughts, then by all means, then I can say on mute.
All right. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly, my friend.
I
Okay,
will share after the coach does.
I have to I have to leave shortly. I got another meeting, but Michael, I agree. I can see both of your points. What Michael is saying is that he's at the point where he's still within the energy of the goal, and I can feel the energy of the goal, and which is that I want to make you happy. Tons of happiness. That's an emotional power right there. That's very huge. He wants to be a joy giver, and I can say I've experienced that with Michael. Although what Annie is saying is that there is a need to put a number, then the mission gets clearer. But you see, in life, we all go through different phases, and I believe my thinking. Hello, someone is speaking.
Go
It's
ahead,
just,
coach. Go ahead.
yeah,
Okay,
please go ahead.
okay. So the goal will be refined in the future.
Mm.
The goal will be refined in the future. That's what I think.
Yeah,
It
no,
will
look,
get to the point where it will have some more numbers behind it. That's what I think. It's going to get refined in the future.
I hear
I'm
you.
sorry, I have to go now. I
Yeah,
have
no,
another meeting.
I understand. I understand. Look, you do well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Coach, it will be refined in my deathbed once
Do
I'm
go,
gone from this world.
do go in the comments, coach. I think people, right? You know, 10,000 books I would do. If it's 1,000 a year, coach, because you're wondering. My son told me it's 1,000. That's only 1,000 a year, and that'll make you £1 million a year. In your business. So that's an aim. That's what I'm working towards. Look, thank you so much. Enjoy your night. Take care, coach. So Michael, I think we still need to be very specific on our goals. I think we need to be, maybe yours will evolve with time, right? Mine changed, pretty quickly. I'll be honest with you. Mine
No,
changed.
there's some artists who died
Yeah.
who still have an influence on the number of a whole number of people in the world that they didn't even know were going to come and be born.
Yes.
Michael Jackson, for instance, his art is going to influence generations from now.
Well,
But
that
he
wasn't
didn't
his,
know that.
that wasn't his goal. His goal was to provide for himself and his family and become the greatest pop star there ever has been, and he achieved that. And there's numbers to prove that.
I will not identify his goal because I do not know what his goal was.
Right.
I really don't. I have to personally talk to him and let him talk to me and tell me what exactly his mindset was. But from what I can see and what I can observe, it's been greater than what he has been than what he thought that he could actually accomplish. And I am making assumptions because I can't talk to him.
Okay.
And that's the part that's hard.
Let's stop making an ass out of you and me assumptions, Michael. Assume. And let's focus on what we do know, right? I'm saying
Cyrus, help us out, please.
We need to be very, very clear. Cyrus, if you want to speak, please feel free. Say, we need to be very, very clear what it is we're trying to achieve. And beyond being clear what the goal is, we need to be very clear about why. Why is that goal important? Unless we take it in, as Coach said earlier, unless we truly believe on a subconscious level and commit to it. Subconsciously, consciously, every which way, we must truly commit to it. Otherwise, we're not gonna get there. That's the thing about goal setting. It won't motivate us. Now, let me tell you, the biggest thing that kills our motivation is not always the external factor. Is the fact that, as Coach said, there's different things we need to look at before we can decide, can I do this? If any of the 5 steps that he mentioned tell us no, you can't do this, if I ever thought I can't publish 10,000 books, I would be defeated already, and I'll give it up. I won't be driven as much as I am. That belief that I can truly achieve. Of course, I can have 1,000 books a year, and that's doable. What's that? 10 books a month? Maybe 100 books a month. But now, when I get my machine going. So at the moment, I've got a number that I'm on a month. There's a lot more than there was last year. I tell you that for nothing. And I'm saying that's how you achieve these goals. Now you can break the big goals into smaller steps, but don't be afraid to set yourself a world-changing goal. Don't just do a random goal. Put a number on it. Cyrus, what's your take? What's your goal? I'm curious.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear.
Yeah, sure. So first, I wanted to thank Michael for giving us this opportunity to address a problem that many of us have, and I still have that problem sometimes, and but it's on and off. So I'm gonna invite Michael to use his imagination and step into my world for a few moments. Is that okay, Michael?
I love your words, Cyrus. Please allow me to step in.
So you are my friend, and I'm inviting you into my world for a few moments, right? So I was gonna say, let's say it's I'm inviting you to a wedding, and I just tell you, Michael, I'm inviting you to a wedding. You can invite other people as well. So what questions are you going to ask me about this wedding?
Who are you marrying?
Yes.
And does the person who you're marrying,
does the person I'm going to marry know that I'm going to marry them? No, that's not a question. I'm joking.
No, it's not. It's not that. Does the person who you're marrying know that you've invited me, and that you're going to allow me to invite other people?
What else do you want to know? Remember, you can invite people. You can bring people with you. What are you going to ask me about them?
The limits.
Yes.
What is the limit?
How many? Yeah, how many can I bring with me? Yeah. So what else do you need to know? The address, maybe?
The location, yes. Where you're gonna where it's going to be.
When it's gonna be?
When, time.
Yeah, exactly.
I would assume that the invitation would have that information. Are you going to send out formal invitations so that I can pass out those formal invitations to other people?
You are going to go and get involved in someone else's goal, and you're asking for a lot of information. How is it that you're not answering those questions when it comes to your own goals? So if I tell you, come to my wedding, right? And I'm not telling you when it is or where it is. And naturally, you're going to turn around and say, well, shove your invitation. I'm not going to come, because you are not giving me details. How am I supposed to follow an instruction you're not giving me? The universe is the same, Michael. So a lot of people have an ambition in mind, but they don't have details and dates around it. And that is not a goal. Okay. So what I'm going to share with you is the goal is not to have a goal. The goal is to have a plan to achieve that goal. And that's something that the industry doesn't tell you. The industry tells you, oh yeah, have a goal and be positive minded. Yeah, that's beautiful. Right. But you need to be, you need to be thinking beautifully, but more beautiful than that is having a plan to get there. Right. So if you turn around and tell me my goal is to help as many people as possible, that is not measurable. If it's not measurable, it's not a goal. It's an ambition. It's a wish. And wishes don't wash dishes, right? So we need to remember that when we're thinking about our goals. So if your goal is to publish 10,000 books in a space of 11 years or 10 years, that's a goal. And by June 2035, you want to achieve that goal. Yes, I'm going to turn around and say, oh yes, this guy's got a goal. But when I hear people say, oh, I want to be a millionaire, I'm like, No, you're not 5 anymore. You can't say I want to be a millionaire. But if you told me I want to be a millionaire by June 2040, you know what? I'm going to promise you that you're going to achieve that goal. You don't need to promise me. I'm going to promise you that you will achieve that goal. I want to start my own charity by January 2027. I know for a fact that you're going to do it because you got a plan. So if you're a man or a woman with a plan, yes, you're going to achieve that goal. Otherwise, you're a person with an ambition, and anyone can have an ambition. That's what I wanted to share with you, Michael. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I would thank you, Cyrus. I would thank you.
Open my eyes very well.
Excellent. That's why I'm thanking you, Cyrus. Beautifully done. Beautifully said. While you were talking, I found 2 CDs. Damn, I'm so annoyed. I'm not really annoyed. I'm like, why? I bought 2 CDs a while ago, my friends. Linkin Park is my favorite, music group.
Yes, mate.
I love Linkin Park. So I bought 4 CDs, right? They went in the car. Then, again, anyone knows me. My car crashed I crashed the car. Someone crashed into me, more like, in November. My new car hasn't got a CD player. What the hell am I meant to do? Oh, that is so annoying. I've got all the songs on Spotify, so maybe I can relax about that. I've got 2 CDs, brand new. I just opened to see. I'm like, wow, what's that?
That's even better. That's even better. I'm not saying it's a good thing you crashed the car. what I'm saying is,
it's a good thing I crashed the car.
Happy upgrading, my brother.
I think that's what happened. Look, if you're on my YouTube, please like today's video, comment, and also subscribe and watch other videos, please. Please.
You know what I was thinking when Michael was doing his share, right? I was thinking, I wrote a song not so long ago, right? It's about turning the world into a better place by simply recycling. Sometimes you don't have to be an inventor. Sometimes you have to be the clever dude or clever girl who makes a keychain out of a wine bottle, a wine cork, right? And then you've turned the world into a better place. You took your step forward, right? You started the movement. You've created something out of. I'm not going to say out of nothing, but you've created something better out of something ordinary. That in itself is an invention. Can I play that song for you guys?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Let me address Alexis' comments.
Sure.
I think it's brilliant because it's part of my thing today. YouTube name URL. Oh, Alexis, I tell you, I'm always glad to do that, right? YouTube channel. Let me find it quick. Yeah, in his YouTube channel. 1 second, Cyrus. Right. So Alexis is talking about breaking your goal down to manageable chunks. I agree. I totally agree. We need to. I'm not. See, but part of me believes, Cyrus, that we must keep the big goal in mind, right? I guess much like you just did with Michael. I think for me, I look at it almost like going somewhere. I'm going to my sisters because I commit to seeing my sisters at least once a year. But now one is down the road, 200 miles down the road. I'm saying that's not even a day trip, right? The other one is more like 600 miles away in Milton Keynes, right? So so I will normally set my big goal. I'm going to go to see them at least once a year, right? And then, but on the day I'm actually going to travel, I will plan my route in smaller steps. I'm going to go to the M20, A30 is where we start in Cornwall normally. And then I should make my way there. Go down the M5, go down, and sat-nav will get me there in the end. I'm saying we need to break down our goals, yes, but ultimately, I think when you have your big goal in mind, my friends, it frames your outlook for almost for life. Right. Now, here's what I mean. By knowing I want to publish 10,000 books, Michael, no one is off my radar for my niceness. Alexis, I just sent you the link to my YouTube. Please feel free. Do like, comment, all that stuff, right? You know, if anyone else wants to go to my YouTube channel, you feel free. So you're more than welcome. Copy and paste the link into your browser, and you should be there. And the live show should be there on the homepage, right? Right. My friends, I'm saying when you bear your big goal in mind, you almost become a different person, because that big goal makes you realize the touch points on your journey. It makes you realize the emotional control you need in all situations, every situation, not just some. You know, when you choose to swat someone off, even when you choose to give someone the finger because they drive badly around, in front of you, around you, past you. I'm saying, when you got your big goal in mind, you don't do things like that. I don't anyway, because I know that whoever I talk to could be part of my journey. The problem with having small goals is that you think short term, you think smaller, whereas we need to think bigger and realize that our emotions today could come back to bite us tomorrow. Whereas the choices we make today, if we react. You want a link for the studio, Alexis? I'll happily share the link. So, okay, I'll send you the StreamYard link. So I'm more than happy for you to join us, please. So there's the StreamYard link. They're going to your LinkedIn DM, Alexis. So they check your LinkedIn DM, and then hopefully you join us in the studio. All right. I'm saying let's not be scared to set that big goal. Now, Michael's big goal, it's definitely, it's doable. It's there, right? I'm saying let's learn to say it out loud. Tell ourselves, convince ourselves that we can do this. And then every action we take from here on in is going to be aimed at achieving that goal. Again, Cyrus said so beautifully, we need to be specific, put a number on it, put a date and time. Be clear when you're going to say to yourself, yes, I'm getting there. That's the point of the numbers. It's not, the numbers, so we may get there, we may get, if you aim for the moon, you may get to the stars, right? Are you disappointed? Maybe, but most people will be quite happy with that. Let's not let setting big goals be a scary experience. I live in a world where everyone's saying, no, start small. Don't upset yourself. No. Motivate yourself. See how you can really change the world. See how you can really change your world. And then go for it. Dare to go for it. Dare to dream. Dare to do is what I always say. Dare to dream. Dare to do. I truly mean that. Look, I'll come back to my list, my steps to build motivation. Set your goals, my friends. Find your why. How's that goal going to change your life, change other people's lives? Break the goals down into manageable steps that you can comprehend. And celebrate your progress towards the goals, my friends. Celebrate every little step you take. Celebrate. You can only do the celebration if you know the specific goal you're aiming for. And also celebrate when you do the right thing, especially on an emotional level, that helps you towards your goal. When someone who is totally jarring crosses your path, but you control yourself, and maybe you turn them into a friend, celebrate that too. Give yourself a treat. I'd say that I celebrate myself every day. And on the journey, celebrate how far you've come from when you started this journey. Cyrus said he's going to create a book and about his wine, this Buonavenoto wine company. and then he says he's going to do podcasts. He's going to do it, and you can see it for yourself, my friends. He's taking steps every day towards this one company. Not because he's mad, but and these steps do matter. They really do. They are what's going to make him happy in the end. And so every step he takes, I hope he's celebrating and saying, "Yeah, I did that." The top. And every day he gets nearer to his version of what his dream is. Yeah, Cyrus, well done you. So I'll come back to you in a second. I do want to welcome Alexis. Alexis, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. You made my day again. How you doing, Alexis?
Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Superb.
Oh, good. I'm hearing an echo or two conversations.
Yeah, have you got your LinkedIn? Oh, sorry, my bad. I just muted you for accidentally. Have you got your LinkedIn tab open? Have you got two tabs open right now?
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. You fixed that. Okay, superb. How are you doing? How's life going? Oh no, you haven't closed this stream's page.
Oh, okay. There. Maybe this.
No, you're back again, so I can hear you again now.
Okay, I had two things going, so I corrected it.
Superb. How's life with you?
Pardon?
How's life with you?
Oh, it's all right. It's good. I'm really happy to be here, and this is topical. This conversation is happening at the right time because goal, and it comes back to what do you want to be when you grow up? And when I was a child, I knew, and as a young adult, I didn't. Somehow, I sort of got adrift, and so it's writing, a writer, and that's what I've always been. And we have to keep the main goal in sight. We have to also be surrounded by people who believe in you, encourage you, acknowledge you, even though it comes from within. This is who we are. It's nice to know that we're not around a lot of naysayers. And that's one of the things. But my theory and how I achieved successes was to keep the goal in mind, but to focus on the steps. You break it down into steps, focus on the steps, and there's always planning. I do a basic planning overall, and then I like to focus on the here and now and what I need to accomplish there. And then as certain things pop up, it's not too overwhelming. Sometimes it's frustrating, but yes, this is really good. And I'm feeling amazing because I haven't really spoke in a while on one of these lives. So it's good. And I saw a couple of familiar names. So that's really exciting too. Yeah.
It's a joy to have you. It's a joy to have you join us. It really is.
Thank you.
I really do. It's this is where we are now, Alexis. I said the days of audio are gone.
Yeah. Well, we're here. We're here, right? I'm here.
Yeah.
We're here.
There's benefits. There's benefits to this medium. So seeing people, I think, feels better than audio was. Audio was good. Don't get me wrong. I said I will forever preach the benefit of audio. But having the recordings, Alexis, is a good thing. And sometimes seeing people gives you a better conversation. And I don't know whether you've noticed, people in the comments are much more active than they used to be in the audio rooms. There was no comment feed there, was there? So most people who are here will say something, which I think is a joy. You know, Woody was one of those came on stage, spoke. So I'm glad you're here though. And there's always that first time when you come on stage and speak. I'm like, yay.
That's true. This is fun. It's fun. Actually, I'm enjoying it. Truly.
I have a question.
Please feel free.
When it comes to goals, how many can you have at a time and then go after? Or do you do them separately? How do you manage them?
Ooh, what a great question. Alexis, Cyrus, please feel free if you want to offer a view. I'll have to offer a view.
Well, my answer is going to be really brief. If they matter to you, you will find a way to manage them.
Yes, you can have more than one goal. You can have multiple goals. You can have sometimes simultaneously. But that's because they're always part of a bigger goal, or maybe they intertwine, or they're going to intersect at some point and bring you further along. And also we have our personal lives, maybe our family lives, professional, or there's just something maybe like travel, but you want to achieve something professionally before you do that. So you just have to see or recognize how they are individually and set the goals and look at the time frames. And remember, sometimes things aren't set in stone. They're always malleable. So those are my thoughts.
I think I'm with you both in a sense that I've got one big goal. I said they were written 10,000 books. That covers everything. That covers my work every day, my relationships, the money I want, and the success I want in terms of impact on people. It all comes together into that one, Michael. I said, Charita says, he gave himself a spiritual foundation that everything in this world is allowed or given by God, right? So there's always an allowance to my goals, which may be so high that every facet of it, there is a place of faith and desire and acceptance. I tell you, that I agree with the Charito. I think a lot of people would think small because it's it's achievable. A lot of people will think small because they've done that thing already. It's one of my goals, which made my coach not so amused. Sorry, she come back a different person. I said I wanted to make £1 million, and she's like I said to you earlier, what difference would that make? What I didn't tell her is that I've made £1 million already, and it didn't make me as rich as I wanted to be. So as rich as I want to be. So I think this goal setting thing is central. It's central to everything we do. But not everyone seems to understand or want to make that leap of faith. As Charita says, sometimes we don't have a clue how we're going to achieve that goal. We don't even know where we're going to begin. Alas, once we set the goal, once we do what Sarah says, create a plan. Break it down, create a plan. Take the steps. Your life becomes a joy. That's the beauty of life. That's my personal take. If I'm wrong, then please feel free and say to tell me your take.
If you don't set steps, your life turns into a joke instead of a joy.
It's true. Well, it's true. It states as a dream, as a wish. Let's not be the ones who get stuck on the wish. Felipe, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Felipe is one for realistic, smart goals. That's the one I'm looking for, smart goals. And him and I, we've argued before. And look, if I'm setting goals for my employees, I have to set smart goals because it's not that it's my goals, not theirs, right? You know. Whereas if I want to set my goals, I'm all for going so big that I would need God or the gods, the universe, to help me achieve it. As Charita is saying, you know, it's not all going to come from my hard work. I promise you that. And I know that 10,000 books aren't going to come overnight. It's not going to come from me being a genius. It's come from me working and putting the systems in place and learning every day and being better. And eventually the numbers will compound. That eventually bit, that's the God bit. That's the spiritual bit. That I don't know how that's going to happen, but it will happen.
Anyway, it sounds like as if you're talking about you're mentioning something that I typically tell other people, and this is in regards to like achieving a goal, and I typically tell them to go beyond the heavens.
Yes.
In other words, the heavens are not the limits.
Mm.
No, that is never a limit.
Beautiful.
Creator never made it a limit. He said you have to do more than me. You will do more than me. So that's one thing that I keep on thinking about, and I keep on saying to people, go beyond the heavens, because any limits you put upon yourself, you put upon yourself. But
exactly that.
There are no limits in reality.
There really are not. You know, the question that always comes down to, do the people you talk to, Michael, really believe that anything is possible? Do they really believe that what they don't know, they will eventually get to know?
What matters is whether I believe it. Because when I believe it and I tell them, they need to hear it from me that I actually believe it, so that they can believe it.
Hold on. Unless they believe it, then they go nowhere. Unless they believe it, you believe it, but unless you believe it for your goals, Michael. For their goals, they must believe it too. Again, I take it back to Coach's point. Unless you have that belief, true faith, then you don't even begin. Almost emotional intelligence becomes a moot point for you, for these people, right? When they believe, when they start the journey, then the only thing you can do is be a nicer person. That's what emotional intelligence really is, right? Be a nicer person, but choose your responses carefully based on the journey that you're on. They must believe, Michael. They must. We must all believe in our goals. Otherwise, we're going nowhere. Mr. Bonavinote, now what are you showing us?
Annie, can I please ask you a question before I show this? I was gonna ask you to go back to the very beginning of your career as a publisher. Obviously, right now we all know you've turned into one of the most successful independent publishers in Britain. And of course, internationally as well. When you started, did you know you would make success, or did it take you a while and then you were like, oh, hang on a minute, I got this, I can do this? Did you know it from the beginning, or you waited for a bit of success before you started believing in yourself? That's my question for you.
Great question. I think that this would feed into some of what Mark has been saying, in terms of, if you came to me 10 years ago, I had no intention of working online, no intention of publishing any book, no intention of doing anything beyond running my charity. Right? But like I said earlier, if you listen carefully, you hear what I'm really saying. The point is, I made £1 million already. I bought properties and I did properties. So I made my money, right? And then I come online to do marketing. A friend says to me, Eddie, you are never going to make money doing marketing. No one does. You got to do something else. So now, then I came across the opportunity to work with a publisher, Dr. Ava Ugo Brown. So we had the partnership. She does the publishing, I did the marketing of the books. And then we fell out, basically. It's not the way of saying it, right? So once we fell out, there were people coming to me saying, "And publish my book before you can market it." Then, the point here, Cyrus, is that we have to pivot through life. But I knew what the goal was. The goal has always been to create £1 million company, £1 million a year company. How you get there almost doesn't matter. But if you know what the goal is, then whatever circumstance you're in, you will fit it to your goal. You make sure it's aligned to your goal. I'm not scared to pivot. I'm not scared to change. I'm not scared to do the next thing that I need to do. I'm saying, but without knowing the big goal, Cyrus, the £1 million a year revenue company after tax, and I would just be making dumb choices, right? No, the goal about books only became clear to me, and maybe last year, maybe, Cyrus. Now, once I realized how to publish these books for people, then it's become my tool to create people who are famous. You hear me say it enough times, Cyrus, right? So then this becomes a vehicle to achieve my £1 million a year. Now, I've broken it down. So 10,000 books, over the next 15, 20 years, 1,000 books a year is when I will hit the sweet spot. So that's £1 million a year, Cyrus.
Well, I think it's important to make millions. It's important to make money. Yes, I acknowledge that. As a marketer and as an author, I understand that and I respect that. However, I would say the number one reason for your success in this market is that you don't badmouth people. You either talk about them or you don't. Okay, so you just told everyone you fell out with a fellow publisher. She's a great person as well. Well, obviously things didn't work out. She went her way, you went your way. I've been to her rooms, I've been to your rooms, and I see why each one of you is great in their own way. So I've never heard you bad mouthing anyone. And if you weren't that interested in talking about them, you would change the subject. So that people skill is the reason why people are after you, left, right, and center. And I just wanted to say, you are one of those marketers that I look up to. I've watched your videos on your LinkedIn page. I go back every time I go further back. And when you were younger,
like yesterday, you mean?
I mean, a month ago or something. Your style was the same as today's style. Okay, so nothing's changed. So there's this consistency. Congratulations. Consistency is something to celebrate.
Look, I'll thank you for your kind words. But I think the reason I'm talking about this topic, the reason I talk about emotional intelligence and emotional balance is because I think it's central to everything we do, Cyrus. I truly do. I don't talk about people badly because I don't let myself feel that bad about anything, right? Deep down,
too short anyway.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing that goes with feeling negativity. It brings your vibration down. Your chance of attracting what you want gets destroyed. I haven't got time for those sort of mistakes, right? I'm saying if I just keep positive and do my best to enhance everyone's life, like Michael said, then everything flows. So another thing I would say to you is that, look, my real driver is not money. Again, Coach said it earlier. Money can be many things to many people, right? And to me, money, the number is simply maybe it's an ego thing. I got a son who's 15. I want him to see that you can start somewhere and become everything. That's what really drives me deep down. And that's what £1 million a year revenue business will prove to me and to him, that you can be me and achieve greatness and impact so many people's lives. That's now the money is neither here nor there. Saying I'm a rich man already. I don't need the money, but hell, it's money. Money is more about the value we give than money that I need, if that makes sense. You know, so that's
That does
really
make sense, yeah.
fantastic. Great question, my friend. Great question.
Thank
Look,
you.
what are you showing us on screen? Shouldn't
I was gonna
Focus
show you. I was gonna show you what I promised you like 6 months ago when I said I'm gonna create that wine brand and publish that story. And just a few words to the audience. If you want to make your book famous, if you want to book your make your website famous, bring it to NEO Song, and it automatically becomes famous because of thousands of people who. The footfall is really high in this. Don't look at the numbers that are in the live. The footfall is high. People come in, people go out. It's like a really a big flow of people coming in and going out. So in terms of what I'm going to show you guys, I'm not sure if you can hear it.
Products that are both style.
Can you hear that?
I think so.
And
Guys,
I can hear it.
Yes, excellent. All right, so I'm going to play it now.
a lesson from the spork. Recycling and repurposing are essential, but they only work when done intelligently. We need to learn from past mistakes, like the spork. The spork, first patented by Samuel W. Francis in 1874, was meant to be a multi-purpose eating tool, combining the functions of a spoon, fork, and knife. However, it never really delivered on that promise. Too flimsy to be a fork, too shallow to be a spoon, and too awkward to replace either. The spork frustrated more than it helped. One disappointing use, and it was in the trash. Just another piece of plastic waste. The lesson? Not everything that seems like a clever solution actually is. If we're not careful, we could repeat the same mistake with cork.
Divorce in a wine bottle isn't a cork's end of life cycle. Smart wine lovers reuse, repurpose, and recycle. The goal is to have a detailed plan, not to just have a goal. The goal is to give a cork another chance, a brand new role. Recycle more if you can help it. Don't cut down a tree. Being creative doesn't cost a thing, it's actually free. Don't worry, give it another chance, it will work. It'll be more useful than a plastic spork. A cork can be a keychain, a coaster, or art. A small part of nature, still playing a grand part.
It's a talent you have, Cyrus.
The key is to create something that solves a problem and always.
So I just wanted to share that with you guys. That's all. So yeah, Michael, the goal is not to have a goal. The goal is to have a plan to achieve a goal. I believe it so much. I use it in my publication. So
I love Cyrus. You know what? It's not. It's not sport. We call it. We call it a spade, right? It's not plastic. Metal and very sharp edges, right?
yeah.
You know, we've tried different lots, and I said my grandmother-in-law, yeah, that one. My wife's mother's mother, so her grandmom, right? She gave us splades, that's what we called them. And believe me, we had 6. We've only got 2 now. We're heartbroken. Every new one that we try to replace it is so disappointing. So they go straight in the bin. I'm like, whatever, get rid of those, right?
Yeah.
So there's 2 that me and my son will fight over. Literally, only we use them.
Now that's a successful product. People are fighting over it. Now that's a success for a product. I'm telling
it really is. I haven't found anything like it anything like what we're looking for. Something that actually does work like a spoon and a fork and a knife at the same time.
You know,
what we have.
My goal in creating podcasts. Let me tell you what my goal in creating podcasts. One of my ambitions in creating podcasts is. Yeah, I was once in Keith Keller's. I'm not sure if you know Keith. He's a really successful Australian podcaster. I was in his podcast, and he said once I was on a train, and this dude was sat in the middle of the train listening to this podcast on his mobile phone at full volume. It was like blaring. And then I was thinking, oh, this guy liked this podcast so much. He forgot about time and place, where he was, what he was doing. He was in a public place. He forgot about his manners listening to this podcast. So you got to create a podcast. You got to create a piece of video or audio that people forget about where they are and what they're doing, listening to it. And that's the definition of successful work in terms of podcasting. Thank you.
I agree. So these events, they're like that. And as Nikki says, she loves that. And we truly do. I do.
Thank you so much.
Cyrus
Thank you.
sends me his podcast newsletter every week.
Sometimes twice a week, sometimes every week. Yeah, once a week, twice a week. Twice
So
definitely a week.
connect with him. They're informative and entertaining, as you just heard, right? So that's Cyrus for you. Michael, you've unmasked your video thing. Talk to us. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I find myself in a little hole where I could actually unmask myself in this little place. And it's got power and everything, so I can hang out here while you guys are talking and everything, and I can also join you guys in conversation as well. Cyrus, that was a very beautiful piece, and I really enjoyed it. You gave me a lot of food to chew on and to think about with respect to the differences between ambition and goals.
Michael, you're one of those people I really respect. You're teachable. I always stay teachable as well.
Yeah.
So is Annie.
It's part of my ingrain. I always want to be malleable all the time, and I really appreciate that, and I enjoy the fact that you actually came in, and I knew that there was something that was going to have to happen with you coming up on board. Something I'm gonna have to learn. I'm always learning all the time, even when you're talking. It's never been something that I would come up and I say that never happened. When you're always on top and you're always talking, there's something new that I gotta learn. Or you reiterate something that I forgot. Something that, that can also happen as well. But I certainly appreciate you coming up and giving us input and also direction as well, because it's very astute and it's very necessary for someone who finds himself to be not an extrovert, but actually an introvert.
I am an introvert, yeah. Yeah, I am an introvert.
Yeah, I understand. But that's why you saw me go quiet there for a bit, because I had to think about what you're saying and actually internalize it and try and see if I can turn it around. And I've still got quite a bit of work to do, I realize. So I appreciate what you've done.
I've got a confession to make as well. Sometimes I come to Paulette Hallam's podcasts, and when I say podcast, I mean live coverages. Sometimes Annie's, like I have 15 minutes or maybe half an hour for lunch. And I don't have the time to talk, but I always come to these live events and listen. And because if you want to learn, yeah, you can learn. You can listen to audiobooks, but nothing replaces direct experiences of human interactions. And this room is one of those rooms, and I've stuck to for how long now? I think it's over a year now.
Yeah,
And-
so
Yeah.
years, you're one of our mainstays for sure. Look,
I'm loving it.
no, thank you so much. No, thank you so much, and Michael, thank you for your kind words as well. It's nice. It's what we aim to do. Look, let me say this before I'll give you the last word. If you want the last word, any of you. Look, I think having that goal is so important. Guys, my goal is what's brought all of us together. My goal is why I know you, Mike. Is why I talk to Cyrus. Why I talk to Alexis. And then I say this relationship started years ago, right? Because I'm very clear what I'm trying to achieve. And when I meet people who can help me in that journey, the conversations we have, the relationship we have is different to someone who I think can't help me in the journey at all. Some people prove themselves to be a total waste of space, and I'm like, oh, well, off you go, sort of thing, But when you have that goal, it does direct how you respond to everything. much more. Think about you, and I think everyone here, think about yourselves. Think about the people that you know, people you talk to. I bet you find that they're linked to your goals. Think the people you're nice to, they're linked to your goals somehow. If they're not, I can almost say they probably won't last long. Yeah, really. I'm saying look deep down. If you haven't got that big goal that's truly burning, that's burning a hole in your soul when you don't do it, you can't find it. Whatever that means to you, go talk to a coach. You work it out for yourself. What is this? What's really within you? What's really that thing that you're willing to sacrifice your life for? Whether it's money, for nothing, I'm saying, but what is that thing? When you know that, it guides how you respond to everything. Yeah, imagine that. That's life. Life is very simple if you look at it, people. It's not as hard as people make it sound like, right? And I think, a few simple principles, mindsets. I mentioned Stanley Green earlier. His mindset teaching is not that complicated. Only a few topics, about 12, 14 topics on a good day, right? But they branch up into other things. I'm saying, but essentially, focus on those things. Focus on your goal. Focus on your why. Focus on responding, not reacting. Focus on keeping yourself in a good mood, excited, motivated, driven, optimistic. All those things will bring the results that you want. And that's where I want to end for myself. So now, Cyrus, Alexis, Michael, if you want to have your last words today, please feel free.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really love your life, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. That's it.
Alexis, please feel free.
Yes, I had a lot of thoughts as everyone was speaking. And basically, remember your goal. Remember what you want to do in life, what your inner voice is speaking to you, what really resonates. Go with it, that intuition, that desire. Because when you do, and I'm speaking from experience, you get to whatever goal that is. And when you don't, and then you don't. So focus, be true to yourself, and know there's always going to be obstacles. And the last thing, well, for now, is look back in your life and look at what you have achieved and know that you're still on your path. And always be happy with yourself and what you've done and where you're going, because you are all you've got. And then look for your support system that helps you get along the way to achieve your goal.
So I love everything you say, Alexis. Thank you so much. Who our friends are does matter, and who we hang around with does matter. But that goal is everything. That goal, it's what guides everything. I say, when people talk about emotional intelligence, they rarely mention the importance of having that goal. It's just learn how to calm down, learn how to slow yourself down, learn how to respond. Learn to even our next topic, which is empathy, is another part of the conversation I think people rarely talk about. Emotional intelligence only matters when it comes to our relationships and our conversations with other people. If we don't learn to have empathy, to really understand how other people are feeling, how we're going to respond in a way that helps them and helps us. That's what we're going to talk about in 2 weeks' time. Do join us, please. Cyrus, what is your final message today, my friend? No, you're on mute. I don't know why you. No, you're not on mute, but we can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for the opportunity. I just want to say, Alexis and Michael, thank you for sharing what you shared, and Adio David as well, Charito, Narcissa, and Felipe. Thank you so much for your shares, whether the texts or the audio shares. I'm gonna finish on this. Life becomes difficult at times, and it makes you forget about your goal. And I'm gonna speak a little bit with a lower tone. I don't want to wake Michael up. I think he's actually fallen asleep. So, okay, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy,
I think Michael's awake, really.
Please tell me this is a prank.
It's all right. If I was asleep, you know I was asleep.
No, I love it. I love it, Cyrus. You got me there.
I told you he was awake.
Oh, bro, I love you, bro. So, anyway, so I was gonna say, life becomes difficult at times, and it makes you forget about your goals, and it becomes about the bills, about the wage, about getting your next paycheck, about paying for your children, about paying your way, about paying for your rent. You know, life becomes difficult. About covering your business costs. You know, it's not always a box of chocolates. It's not always a box of chocolate, but whenever you found yourself forgetting about what your goals are or what your goals were, just try to remember why you set those goals and why did you set those steps. That brings you back to the path again, and you can start again. Remember, age doesn't matter, and how much time you've lost, how much money you've lost, how much energy you've lost, it doesn't matter. How many friends you've lost, it doesn't matter. As soon as you become like a guided missile and going towards your personal goals, you're different to 99% of the crowd, and you should feel so proud of yourself. If you're like that, I am proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, again,
Lovely, Cyrus. Thanks.
I think going back to Maslow's, how that video we watched, you know, it's when we achieve the self-esteem goals, the self-esteem stage, where, you know, we have community around us. That's when we start wanting to be different, to be better. And that's when we really start having those dreams, those goals. You know, and then beyond that, it's achieving greatness. But look, anything's possible, my friends. But you know, to achieve any of the things that we want to achieve, emotional intelligence is central. Look, thank you, everyone that's been here. Everyone, you know, to Charita, Felipe, of course, you know, seeing you. You know, so the many other people here as well. So you mentioned Coach, rightly so. Jeremy, Olushola. So thank you so much for spending your time with us. Hopefully you join us again. Look, do go in the comments. So Stanley and Power Thinking. I'll be there tonight, Stanley. So I love the group. I love to learn. Bite-sized mindset principles is what I call it. I get a text a day as well from Stanley Green that tells me. He gives us tips for the day. April, I see you as well. Americo, thank you so much, everyone. Charita says, thank you, Sarah, Michael, and Alexis for a wonderful discussion. And hi to her best friend, Lisa. Charita, I might fight you for Lisa. But so let's not do that in public, right? Lisa is a gem. We know that.
Lisa's fantastic.
The world knows that too. You know, look, my friends, let's not just come to these events and then disappear. Go to the events page and go through the comments. If there's anyone that resonates with you, please do send a connection request and do get to meet them. Mrs. Z, I appreciate you as well. So just send a connection request, actually, meet them, find out who does what. Nikki, I can't ignore you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'd love to know what you do, Nikki. So if you want a coffee chat, then let's do so. Jay as well, thank you so much for being here. Who else do I see? Of course, I just mentioned Lisa. If you're okay, so Liana, Linda, thank you everyone for spending your time with us. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you learned something. You know, if you want to go and watch the replays of our previous events, then please feel free. My YouTube link, they're all on my YouTube. I'm sure you can find them on my LinkedIn as well. But go and watch it on YouTube and like, comment, and subscribe, please. Thank you so much for spending time on my LinkedIn and my YouTube. I appreciate you all. My watchers have gone up quite well. Look, I'll let you go. Enjoy your evening. Then let's connect and then let's have some conversations. I want to know what you do. Cyrus, enjoy your night. Michael, enjoy your night. Alexis, enjoy your night as well.
Thank you so much. Before you go, Annie, I was going to say, for those of us who haven't purchased the book Lessons We Learned from COVID-19, please go to Amazon. It's available on that platform. It's a book worth reading. Go ahead and buy Lessons We Learned from COVID-19. Thank you.
I agree. If you have trouble finding it, DM me. I'll happily send you the link, my friends. I'll happily send you the link. Nikki, thank you. I'm glad you've enjoyed the show. So I'd love to meet you and find out what you do and see how we can do a show together. And my friends, enjoy. Take care. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drama. She's success with global.media.com and celebrating with or without champagne or rum. She's success with global.media.